in Denver, Colorado, the hometown for the Nuggets for an Eastern versus Western Conference matchup right here. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan along courtside with Brent Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge on our sideline. And it's back to Detroit for the Pistons at the conclusion of today's game.
You could see Drummond's eyes light up once he knew that finish was coming. He didn't waste the chance. Boy, did he get his money's worth on that one.
Well, he's like a fumbling banker right now, dropping dimes with ease. I like how well he led his teammate on that possession.
He's known as more steady than flashy, but that was a sensational pass by Conley. He can get fancy when he needs to.
Rose can't hit. And here's Gasol. He'll bring it up for the Nuggets.
And even now in his mid-30s, Marc Gasol is fantastic. I mean, he gives you everything you want at that center position. Strong defender and rebounder, and he has a host of ways to get you buckets.
Here's Rose. And Gasol sends it back. And he's able to get it back. And Detroit with another turnover here. And now just over a minute played here in the first. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart.
That's tipped.
Well, a great shot blocker from the combo forward. Aminu's length helping him there.
Here's Rose. Makes it off the glass.
And where's the help? Obviously a missed rotation. Something they're going to want to patch up.
Well, you have to be able to trust each other on the defensive end of the floor. Otherwise, the whole thing is just going to crumble.
Pass to Gasol. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. The first quarter of action, 2 minutes in.
Well, he's got both height and length, and that time showed them both.
And here's Conley outside. But they get it back. Back to Love. Lays it up and in on the nice reverse. Love's got 6 points.
Yeah, when you give up these second chance opportunities, I don't know what you expect. Kevin Love is going to find a way to get in there and make something good happen.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Now here's Rose. That shot, no good.
You know, not sure if it's him or the defense, but just something's off tonight.
Well, something in this frame for sure, but when you're out of rhythm, sometimes it's better to play the role of being the facilitator.
And how about the vision there from Doncic? Can make the easy pass and also the difficult.
The Pistons shooting their first free throw of the game right now.
And team stats last season, 74% shooting, so some numbers that they can definitely improve upon. And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
The G League is testing out more ways to speed up the game. Shorter overtime periods, a 14-second shot clock after an offensive rebound. I think those are necessary things.
I think they're worth trying out, Kevin. I don't know necessarily that they're necessary. Is that redundant?
No,
it might have been.
It makes sense when you say it.
But the league always exploring ways to improve the game, and I commend Adam Silver and the competition committee for trying.
Here's Conley after the basket by Detroit. It's stolen by Rose. Ahead. Here's Drummond.
A lot of people feel like Moore has natural point guard ability, so I like to see him find the open man.
To the inside. Doncic with the steal. Rose. Good.
Didn't want to settle for something going away from the basket. Aggressive with a finger roll.
Conley He's scanning the floor. A wide open look for Love. Off target with his three.
And they had some botched coverage that turned into no coverage. Look at the space he had on that one, though. There's an obvious speed mismatch between the two.
I like when Kevin Love shows a little bit more ferociousness. That time, a big-time dunk.
And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two.
And unfortunately, injuries will always be the concern with Derrick Rose. Still loves the game of basketball, knows he is limited compared to what he once was. Amazing with all he's fought through, he can still perform at such a high level.
That one good for two.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
And Gasol gets it to go. Detroit leading by 5. And with Rose, as you said, his love of the game is still there. And he still wants to play.
I mean, many players would have just walked away from having their body trimmed. Rose said last season he loves what he gets to do and still would be a water boy if he had to. You have to admire Rose's attitude and approach in that regard.
Gasol's shot is good. Rose double team. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And it's the Nuggets with the ball. To the inside. Here's Gasol. That one off the back iron and out.
He looked like he rushed it a bit. The defense wasn't terrible, but still, he's got to knock that down.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Bangs home the trifecta.
He's been on his A game, seeking good shots, and he's a huge reason why tonight they're winning.
And another momentum shift. These teams going back and forth all night.
Yeah, which team's going to find some consistency first? Neither one can pull away.
Andre Drummond has been on display for Detroit. And close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from Detroit?
I mean, really good with their post presence, and it's really allowed them to establish a physical tone here in the first.
Well, they're attacking the rim in more than one way, and with that kind of success, you feel like the defense is going to make the adjustment. Then you start playing inside out.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Hey, guys. Well, Marc Gasol is the more fiery of the Gasol brothers. Pau Gasol says, I sugarcoat things a little more than Marc. He's more emotional, more direct. And Marc said, when a mistake happens on defense, I know you're not concentrating. I don't allow that. He knows controlling his frustration is important. He says, I'm working on it. Guys?
Part of leadership, DA. Thank you. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson.
Yeah, it's a disappointing sequence of plays. Absolutely inexcusable turning the ball over like that.
To the middle. It's stolen by Marjanovic. Stolen by Collins. And it's sent back by Leonard.
There's some good commitment from Myers Leonard on defense there. Gets his hands up and swats that one away.
And nicely done. Running the floor well, then attacking the rim.
The exclamation point in transition with the high percentage finish.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Here's Jackson. That shot no good. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. And that's a foul. It's called on Reggie Jackson. That is his first foul of the game. Stolen by Jackson.
And that'll make a pair of turnovers for him in just the last few minutes. So he's got to be a little bit more deliberate with the ball out there. And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, he picked up the ball clean. He has a sneaky court awareness that you have to be careful around. That time results in the steal.
4 on the shot clock. Nice shot by Lynn.
And Lynn is just fearless, always looking to get as close to the bucket as he can. And for Lynn, missing the season last year, he's just glad to be back. His playmaking and creativity is something that this team needs. As long as he's healthy and playing aggressively, he'll be an effective guard option.
Stolen. Now Detroit moving it up. Yep, that one goes in there. And the Pistons lead by 5.
And it's about the tempo, guys. It favors them, and just look at that score.
Yeah, I'm a little bit exhausted here trying to keep up with these guys, and I'm just watching. And they always attempt to wear you out.
And with Lynn, he made a point upon returning from injury, saying he will not change how he plays.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys, they'll shy away from contact after experiencing a torn patella like Lynn did, but he knows that he is at his best going at defenders and absorbing that contact. He said he'll try and be more aware of how he lands, but has no plans of changing his game.
The Nuggets trailed by 5. Stolen by Jackson.
Myers Leonard at that size can look over the top of the defense, so a good job of finding his teammates there.
For Detroit, they have gone 1 of 3 at the line here. There are a lot of guys that can just blow right by you. They turn on the jets and they're as quick as a hiccup, and there are some guys with that quick first step that they're a blur.
I love watching Damian Lillard in Portland when it is that he has one of those, most of the games he has it going, but one of those games where he's really got it going. And the way that he can get around a pick and get into the hoop. Damian Lillard, explosive. Put Kyrie Irving, put John Wall's blazing speed on that list. And sometimes Goran Dragic, the way he weasels into a lane, and I mean that in a good way, finishing off.
Oh, I like that word. It's a good word.
He's fantastic. So we have tremendous explosive point guards who get the job done.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
He is 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
And you know, something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
The first free throw is good.
Well, it's interesting to watch him because he's putting his body on the line to get to the line. We didn't see this during the first quarter, but he's making up for it here.
Pass to Bertans. Beyond the arc. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Jackson's got 13 points now in the quarter.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Here's Bertans, guarded by Jackson. The Nuggets shooting their first foul shots of the night here.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
Interesting, Kevin. I got drafted by the Nuggets, never played there. They drafted me 15th overall back in the 1995 draft and then shipped me out. I would have been a much better skier, by the way.
And wrestling for it there, but no one has possession. We'll have a jump ball. And Denver has possession. And here is Conley. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. And Brent, I'm thinking back to that trade. The Nuggets were moving up to select Antonio McDyess.
Yep, McDyess went number 2 overall and obviously went on to have a pretty stellar career. And Rodney Rogers and I went to Los Angeles, where I got a lot of early minutes in my rookie campaign. So interesting trade on draft night.
And where's the fight defensively? I mean, you know you need stops to stop the bleeding.
Yeah, down by double digits, failing to shut down the lane. It has been a rough night. Well, after getting off to a great start, hitting those first 2 shots, He's definitely regressed a little bit in this quarter.
The Nuggets trail by 15. Down low. Here's Gasol. And the rejection by Marjanovic. Jackson, that's good. Jackson's got 17.
This guy is just shredding the defense right now. He's hitting any shots he's putting up.
Gasol's shot is good.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Marjanovic. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Marjanovic has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
And Marc Gasol, a force on both ends of the floor. You forget, Greg, that he's won a Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, Gasol doesn't really wow you on defense with what he does. I mean, he gets blocks, but it's really his positioning and his rotations are what make him so great. Always involved in plays, and he just seems to be able to protect the rim and a terrific team defender.
Here's Van Vliet. Back to Gasol. Good on the shot.
Well, if they're going to win this game, he's going to require just a little bit of help. Many of the shots he's taking are finding the hoop.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe.
And working, Kevin, themselves to the line here in the second. A nice way to get your offense going.
Pistons have shot 5 of 8 from the foul line. And the first one drops.
And Derrick Rose, the former #1 overall pick in 2008, one of the most athletically gifted point guards the league has ever seen.
Gasol looking around. Pass to Van Vliet. Rose with the double team. And here's Love. He's covered by Rose. It's Gasol missing. From the baseline. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's the Detroit Pistons with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. Right back after this break. And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. And the Nuggets making a change here. Here's Conley. He's still scoreless so far in this one. It's Gasol missing.
Man, it just hurts to miss shots like this. Mentally, you question yourself, and it can affect your confidence.
And it's Drummond missing.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
The shot's good from Love.
Well, using some of that size and strength inside to gain advantage was Kevin Love that time.
Moore outside. No good from outside.
They look frustrated. 0 for 3. Not how you want to start the third quarter.
Good on the three-point shot. Elwinelli's got himself on the board with 3 there.
Many times you don't like that shot selection, but sometimes when you're just feeling it in transition when no one's on you, great shot there.
And how about the airtime improvisation from Derrick Rose, able to hang and finish with a defender looming.
Outside Conley. Over to the left wing. O'Neal misses.
Yeah, but the defense was determined not to give him an inch of free space.
Pistons leading by 13. Moore outside. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
You got to get out there. You got to run and scramble the Jets to find each one more on the perimeter.
Rose surveying the D. Out of bounds. Denver takes possession.
Just not good court awareness there. You cannot afford to be careless. That just leads to bad turnovers.
And so it's Conley bringing up the ball for Denver. They can look forward to the Rockets arena after this matchup to take on Houston. That'll be the first half of a two-game trip. Count it. And that's 13 points for Drummond.
And not afraid to say it. If Drummond isn't the best rebounder in the NBA, he's got to be in the top three. That goes for both ends of the floor. Just no way to hold him in check on the board.
Here's Gasol over Drummond and gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line.
That's his first personal foul. And you know, by now, I don't think there's much question. Mark and his brother Powell are the best 1-2 brother punch in NBA history. How about over 30,000 points combined?
They get it again. Doncic. And Rose wide open. He shoots. Another three for Detroit.
Well, the defense very attentive to him in the first quarter, but he's finally gotten loose in the second and making them pay.
And finished off by Gasol.
And dropping the sledgehammer there, he curbs a 10-0 run by Detroit. And looking at Luka Doncic, incredibly mature for his age. Physically, the broad shoulders, weighing in about 230. Mentally, though, advanced understanding of how to play the game.
The open shot, Rose. Here's Drummond. Count that bucket. Drummond's got 4 points in the quarter.
And not hard to see why they're on the bad end of this run. Just not doing the job on that defensive backboard.
Marc Gasol picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. Right around 3 minutes into the second half.
Now you got to fight through things like this right now. His team needs him to shoot better. He's just had a tough quarter.
Here's Bellinelli. And again, Denver no good.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Detroit leading by 20. You know, Greg, it's amazing that Doncic, at his age, could already have such a complete offensive game.
I mean, a terrific skill set. In Europe, Doncic spent plenty of time as a primary ball handler. Obviously can score in a number of ways, just a versatile threat.
And Denver decides to take their first time out here.
Yeah, he needs to tell his guys to just box out with some energy. That's basic basketball. They've been lazy on the backboard and have allowed way too many second chance points.
So both teams making some changes here. Detroit with the ball. They're on a 12-3 run right now. Beyond the arc. Here's Marjanovic. They kick it out to Green.
Yeah, that one put them over the limit. And it's so early that if they're not careful, this could turn into a parade at the free throw line.
The Pistons have shot 70% from the free throw line tonight, 7 for 10.
One of the better free throw shooting bigs in the NBA. The challenge for Leonard as he develops is to try to get to the line a few more times.
Outside, Lynn. And the call is going to be, yes, it is, an illegal screen.
Tough to recover when you continue to turn the basketball over at this rate.
Detroit leading by 22. Jackson misses.
The defensive reaction time, it was just immediate on that one.
You know, sometimes the most important part of that is the angle that the defender chooses. That time he chose wisely.
Here's Lynn. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Yeah, you have to admire the aggressiveness of Lynn, constantly looking to draw the foul on his shot.
And that one falls for Lynn.
2 shots.
Both free throws good from Lynn. There's 1:47 left here in the third quarter. Here's Jackson. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
And defensively, guys, they've been unable to shut down the middle.
Here's Lynn. And the rejection by Marjanovic.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Shoots from the baseline. Pistons leading by 22. Jackson misses. And here's Lynn. He'll bring it up for Denver. Here's Dotson. The Nuggets with another miss. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
2 shots.
Pistons have been shooting right around 75% at the line, 9 of 12 so far. And so Jackson nails both of them.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
And Bogut not messing around underneath. The big fella coming through.
And it's out of bounds. The Pistons able to retain possession here. Jackson from long range.
Well, he made 1 3 in the first half, but he hasn't found a way to connect again from outside during the second.
Poke loose. Urginus. The Nuggets have made 7 of their last 12 attempts at the line. And that one falls for Lynn.
And Lynn has really carved out a nice role for himself in our league. An effective two-way player who can score, rebound, pass, and defend.
It's Jackson with the drive. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Andrew Bogut. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Green with the block. First free throw is good.
And one difference this half is that when they get to the line, they're converting. And this team will make you pay when they get chances at the free throw line. It's helped them pull ahead here today.
And that's number 4. Definitely something to keep track of as we move forward.
He's perfect from the line this time. There's 14 seconds left to play in the third. That's tipped. Pass to Lynn with 4 seconds on the clock. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
And this is his 3rd trip to the line tonight. He doesn't get the second one. Reggie Jackson firing on all cylinders for the Detroit.
I got him.
And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the 4th quarter, but stranger things have happened. Detroit with the ball. They'll be hosting Orlando for the next one. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
Not shot from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Here's Lynn. Buries it down low.
And Lynn plays with a real edge. When he's driving inside, he looks determined to beat everyone to the basket.
Jackson, that's good.
Didn't have any problem knocking that one down. Another defensive lapse leading to 2 more.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Count the basket. And that's now 30 points for Reggie Jackson.
And he has just been in a flow offensively. Terrific game. He has been the X factor.
Pass to Gasol. Trains the 3-pointer.
Yeah, you would think a coach might have talked to his defense about making the adjustment on him, but right now, he's just lighting him up.
Jackson misses. So far, we've seen them be a bit careless with the ball.
Simply put, out of control is how they played thus far. They're going to have to reel it in and show some more discipline.
This is the second year with the sponsored patches on the jersey, advertising more or less. Have you gotten used to seeing those things?
Yeah, I think it was no problem last year. Some teams did some really cool creative things with the color schemes, and I don't think we've seen the last of that, Kevin.
We see it in European games on their jerseys.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to recognize the number with how many advertisements are on the jerseys.
Or
but
billboard.
Yeah, I don't think we're done with it yet.
The Pistons working the ball around now. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort. And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 32 points for Reggie Jackson. Here's Gasol, and finished off by Gasol.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much elevation for Gasol to throw one down, of course, unless somebody's standing right in his way. That dunk is going to be easy money for him.
Pulls up on the wing. Rebound by the Nuggets.
And usually that mid-range jumper finds the bottom of the net. The defense has to be more aggressive moving forward.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Well, on the defensive end, this is a joke. The lack of awareness is exactly why this team is so far behind. Well, he now has 4 3-pointers this game, guys, 2 in each half. He's really spacing out the floor for his teammates.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Marco Bellinelli. That's his first foul. Rose double teamed. Trying to break that ice cold streak. And that's 2 points on the layup. Rose has got 21 in the game.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here is Conley. Out left to the wing. And again, Denver with the triple.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range. He's got to get to the line a little bit more here in the second half. Let's see if he can get that edge back that he had in the first.
Do you think it seems like young players are more receptive to stints in the G League than they were in the past?
I feel that way.
Seems that way, yeah.
Like the stigma of what was used to be the D League, and maybe it was because those were the grades that I had, that you felt a little weird about it. But now that it's the G League, and now that, like we talked about, almost half the players last year had some kind of touch with the G League, I think that stigma has mostly gone away.
Are you saying you were a G student?
Well, when I gave my mom my report card, she said, gee, you got 4 A's.
Yeah, I don't know if any big man has the combination of strength, speed, and hops that Drummond has, not to mention his length, an unreal physical specimen.
Here's Rose. Here's Doncic. Here's Drummond. Here's Rose. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. And so it's Conley bringing up the ball for the Nuggets. Pass to Gasol. And the shot is long. Outside Rose. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Certain guys can play within themselves and still dominate. You played along one of the best that you saw up close in Tim Duncan.
One of the things I think about with Tim is how many numbers he left on the board, Kevin. The way that Coach Popovich played him, minimal minutes, touches when needed most, where Tim usually came through. but how much more dominant he truly could have been.
And he didn't care about numbers, did he?
Not at all. He cared about one number, and that's putting W's on the board. But how many more things Tim Duncan would have led categorically in the history of the NBA at the power forward position, but overall, the numbers would have been staggering.
Shot clock at 6. The Nuggets with another miss.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Pistons.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And now for the year, this is going to take into 7 wins.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Drummond.
Well, a consistent intensity is what he brought to the floor here. He hit the glass hard, and he came up with a ton of rebounds.
Gasol, no good. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Offensive rebound. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
Now the team came in fired up from the opening tip. You see the focus. They're ready to do battle.
Rose with the ball. And it's Royce O'Neal with the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And he knocks down the first one. And Rose drops them both. 9 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Gasol up top from past the arc. Connects from 3-point range.
And they're just living beyond the arc here, really the entire 4th quarter.
Yeah, not a bad time to be ripping the nets from distance, piling up some major points here.
And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they